Let me ask, should a woman
Yeah.
submit to a man's leadership?
I think that when you meet a man who is such a safe bet and so secure, submission is a natural consequence. Now, if you refuse to do that because you don't see, like, it just goes against everything, the narrative you've been taught, you're depriving yourself of a really beautiful relationship. I'm not saying submit to every man, but a good man who cares about your well-being, you'd be a fool not to submit to him. You'd be a fool to argue with him. You'd be missing out on a great connection simply because you want to maintain your independence. But independence is overrated.
Give me details on what it means to submit. Can a woman be a fully actualized person, completely her own woman, driven boss babe, and still submit to somebody's leadership? Or does that mentality break the potential relationship?
It's a little bit harder. I would say that it's a little bit harder because you get so used to your own authority when you are independent. But I would say is delegation. You might want to have a really great career outside and be your own boss, but at home there's certain decisions that you allow him to lead on, and you allow him to lead on because you trust his leadership, and you don't giving him that authority is because he's earned it through trust, love, and leadership. You know you can trust his authority. You don't need to have a say in every single thing in life. Sometimes you should just relax, and if you are that boss babe, don't you want some areas of your life where you don't have to think and somebody else can just lead? It's good for you. It's recharging your batteries. So I would say that if you are really successful, find areas where you don't have to think. It might be when he plans a holiday, when he chooses where to live or something like that. Instead of fighting that, embrace that as a way of your off period. You don't have to think. You can relax and see it as in a positive rather than negative.
Okay, so how does a modern woman who is very driven, very sharp, she is working, she realizes, hey, I'm really good at this decision-making thing. Why would she come home and submit to somebody else's leadership? Why not just maintain the leadership role?
Because she shouldn't be with somebody unless if she's really astute at decision making, she would have chosen a partner that she can delegate decisions to. If you're really good at decision making as a woman and you're really successful and you really know your shit, you don't be with a man that doesn't. That suggests that there's a hole in your self-esteem if you've chosen a man that you don't truly see as effective decision maker as yourself. So if you are all of those things, then your partner selection should have been also great. So great that there are parts that you can just delegate and then allow him to lead on.
Now, are you saying that women are hardwired? Because we both have the North Star of human flourishing.
Yeah.
So are you saying that women will flourish more if they get, no matter how powerful they are, if they get with a man that is, they are the right person to lead in the family life? I'm not sure where you draw that line. Well, the thing is, if you really want to flourish, choose a man that who can put blindfolds on you and you trust where he's going, because essentially there's going to come a time, either through kids or through age, where you tire yourself out from being that boss babe because you're not designed for it. We're not always designed for it. It's beautiful. It's not always designed for it, or not designed for it?
I think we're not fully. I think we're not. I think there's a time where we are designed for it, when we're young and we have the energy, or when we've got potential. But at some stage in our life, we get to the point where we retire earlier, and it's evolutionary. We're not actually designed to be so driven all the time, all day, every day. We're actually designed to be looked after and kept safe. So as much as you might have all this energy now, at least choose somebody for when you slow down and you take your foot off the pedal, he could take the steering wheel. And if you haven't chosen that, you've effectively adopted a son that you didn't choose.
Interesting. Okay, so let's keep going down this road. So I hear you saying that this is really just an energy question. Yeah. Is it an energy question, or is it a hardwiring question, in that a woman who, and for the conversation, we will assume the man is worthy. Yeah. You see him as an incredible person. So this is not like you're submitting to a bozo. So you found a guy, he's a worthy leader. Yeah. So word. Are you saying that, no, the only time you need to submit is when you get tired, go do your thing, and then at some point later down the road submit just because you get tired of doing it? Or are you saying that this is really the result of evolution, and evolution has left women in a psychological position where they will actually be happier if they submit to a worthy man's leadership?
Yeah, I think it's the latter. I think you would genuinely be happier and you reserve more energy and fuel if you submit to a man who's worthy of submission from early, rather than, one day burning out and then thinking, now I want a man to save me because I'm so exhausted and tired. And I meet girls when they turn 33 onwards, they're just so tired of doing everything themselves, and they'll say to me, I'm just tired of even carrying my grocery bags from the car into the house. I'm so tired of that. I know it's a more, but I'm so tired of it. Whereas if you pick somebody and you delegate and you submit as you're going along, what will happen is you have more energy throughout life. They give you that. That's what a man should be. He shouldn't be a burden. He should be somebody that you look forward to submitting to because you trust their process, you trust their vision. And if you haven't found that, then you're going to suffer.
So why would it be that evolution would leave women in a situation where they don't want to have to lead all the time? They actually want to outsource a lot of the decision making to a man. Why would that be? What is the reward? Has evolution given them a reward?
Children. What happens is, and that's why baby brain is a real thing. Women that will say, I've got baby brain, what they mean is once they become a mother, their brain is absorbed by becoming a mother. They literally start seeing their life through the lens of their baby. So they'll walk into a room and be able to spot the danger and say, that's dangerous. So they stop being able to think about themselves, and they stop being able to think outside of the lens of a baby. So if they don't have a man that they can rely on, they not only have to look after the baby 24/7, but then they have to worry about him, and they just get overwhelmed. Whereas when you have that secure man and you've submitted that you can submit to, when you go into baby zone, it doesn't matter. The ship is still sailing. He's got everything else covered. But when you don't, you then have to put your feet on both pedals, and you're going to be overwhelmed. So because we're designed to be mothers, we're designed to have somebody that we can submit to when we become preoccupied with the child.
Okay, so in a modern context, when women can push that off, why not? Why submit if you never plan to have kids?